You think we can push live? Yeah, we're ready to go. Yeah, let's push live. And then where's Mike? Because I want to make sure that he is ready to tag you out real on the Johnny on the spot.
He may be actually back with my brother. He may have actually done that.
He takes things pretty literally, that guy.
Yeah. He's fairly literal.
He told me he was bringing me back boxed rum from Cuba. I was like, ha ha ha, and he did. I was like, all right.
It sounds very Mike Graybeard.
He's like, you gonna drink it? I was like, no. And we're about ready to go live. Okay, we are live at the 2016 RVA Open and Invitational. We are getting ready to watch the men's invitational session, which starts in just a few minutes. And I am actually joined in the color commentary booth by a very special guest, Kane the Dragon Wilkes. Kane, say hi to the folks at home.
Hello, folks.
A lot of you weightlifting fans at home might recognize Kane's face, hair, and imposing stature. He is America's premier super heavyweight lifter. He has competed on how many world teams?
Three world teams.
3 world teams. He is the only active weightlifter in North America to clean and jerk 500 pounds. Welcome to the color commentary, Kane. Tell us a little bit about why you're here today.
Well, I'm here for the men's invitational session, which is right about to start. My little brother Cord will be lifting in it. So I'm actually going to be helping him load some weights and everything in the back room with my dad. And cheering for him and all.
Now, how's your relationship as brothers? Do you guys push each other? Do you joke around, or do you just want him to do as poorly as possible? What's the deal there?
I always want him to do as well as he can. I mean, there have been times so we've been in the sport for a long time now. And there was a point where he was much more of a decorated lifter than I was. Mm-hmm. I was finishing podium and things like that, but never winning golds. And he was doing that. And my lifts were more than his, but not much more than his. So I think at that point we were very competitive, because if he had a really good day and I had a really bad day in training, he might have tied my snatch or clean and jerk that day. And I was like, I don't really want that.
That's just not a good thing.
I want him to do well, but I'd like to lift more.
So how old are you and how old is Kane?
I am 29, just turned 29.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Did you get the card?
I did.
It's probably the damn mail. It's just, you can't trust
the mail's always a problem. But Cord is 27. He just turned 27 last month. I'm getting used to these new years.
it's the new math, the new numbers that really just. So Cord, how long have you guys been lifting?
We both started around 2000, about 16 years, or a little more.
So you've been lifting for all your adult life,
mm-hmm.
most of your life. Did you start lifting to get into weightlifting? Did you start it as supplementary for a sport?
I did it to supplement football.
Okay. And your dad is your coach, right?
Yeah. At the time, he was my football coach. But yeah, he was actually looking for ways to improve the football team and kind of rediscovered the lifts.
Was he a lifter himself?
Never really competed or anything, but he dabbled in it when he was younger. But through coaching and everything, kind of rediscovered those lifts and was able to teach it to us. And I think maybe 2 or 3 years I did that, and then eventually decided to focus just on weightlifting.
So you made your first world team in
2013,
mm-hmm. And that was in Poland?
Yes.
And then, okay. And how did you do it at that meet, your first worlds?
It was pretty bad for me. I only went 2 for 6, made my opening lifts. And that was coming off of my national performance, which was my first national championship win. And I went 6 for 6 at that meet, and had one of the best meets of my life, and made my first senior team. And kind of like, I think for me mentally, I was kind of like still didn't quite believe it all. So it took me back, and I kind of mentally like told myself this wasn't possible or something. And
well, you were also in Poland.
Maybe
not the most familiar place for you.
I guess Poland's always,
nice place, but
nice
just
place,
something you weren't. Was that your first time in Poland?
Yeah.
Poland PRs. There you go.
So just I was a little more nervous than I should have been for that meet and everything.
Now, you've won the national championship. That was your first national championship.
Yes.
And you've won every year since then, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's do the math here.
It's 4.
It's this many. He's won this many. Good. I'm glad we had that moment. So you are currently the only active North American lifter to count our polite neighbors to the north and our polite neighbors to the south to clean and jerk 500 pounds. And you did that for the first time in competition, correct? At a mock meet?
Yeah, it was a muscle driver open meet.
May the company rest in peace.
Yes. Should we do a moment of silence? Is that...
Anyway, enough of that.
I think it was last year in July. I did the 227.
And is that a number you've been chasing for a while? I mean, the answer is probably yes.
Yeah, it's a number that's definitely been on my mind. I think the nationals prior in 2014, I made my first attempt at it, and racked it, but I racked it pretty poorly and had it out in the front a lot, so lost it trying to come out of the clean. So.
Now, I'm just sharing this for the viewers at home. We're about to go on. We have just 2 minutes before the invitational men take the platform. And what I'm doing right now is actually sharing this stream live on my Facebook page, which you can do at home. We're going to see some of the strongest, best lifters in America duel for $2,000 top prize here. Cord Wilkes will be competing, younger brother of Kane Wilkes. And I guess family rival. Oh, look at that. So your name's showing up right there.
Oh, awesome.
Look at that. We got your name spelled correctly.
Yes,
we didn't fit the dragon in the middle, but yeah, that's fine. That's fantastic. And who, besides Cord, who do you think could put on a really good performance tonight?
Well, I think James Tatum is always good for some big numbers. Just not, a lot of these top lifters have been kind of, resting or taking it a little easier now that the quad's just about finished up. So it's hard to kind of go into this knowing exactly what everyone's going to hit. But I think James is always good for some big numbers. And trying to think.
We got a few good lifters. We got James. We got Adam Payton.
Adam's
back
always
there.
Adam's always fun to watch.
Folks, if you have questions for myself or Kane, you might not have questions for Kane. You might want to talk to someone with experience in a sport.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Pop them in the. You're such a disappointment. Pop them in the comments, and we'd love to hear them. We have the strongest Olympic weightlifter in North America for probably another 5 minutes, and then he's gone. He's going to retreat into the woods for the next few years,
right?
Rocky style, train and lift logs, and that's pretty much going to be it.
That's it.
He'll come out a lot stronger, but completely disconnected from reality. Maybe even a longer beard.
Definitely a longer beard.
So where'd you grow up, Kane? Where'd you grow up?
Chesapeake, Virginia.
Oh, not far.
Yeah, not far from here.
So you guys have been involved in this meet for a while, right?
Yeah, the RVA Open this is probably the 4th or 5th year, I want to say. But yeah, Jake, the meet director.
Meet director.
Yeah.
Sure. That works.
That's the title, right?
Dictator.
But Jake's put on a really great meet, and it's grown every year. So yeah, our family's always been involved in it, and just always a lot of fun.
Now, before the first lift of the men's invitational session, we have one question from Jackie Bigger, and she's asking, do you play Pokemon Go?
Jackie, I do not play Pokemon Go.
I'm disappointed. The
I know that
fans at home,
disappoints a lot of people, but I'm sorry, I do not.
great at weightlifting, not so great at catching digital monsters.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a bad thing.
So we got Adam Baton going for his first attempt in the snatch, 110 kilos. That's a good lift for Adam.
Yep.
He's definitely capable of more.
Solid opener.
Jackie also wants to know, Kane, why you're not rocking the man bun.
Why I'm not?
Yeah, why you're not.
So the ponytail's just been with me longer. The man bun's a newer thing. I've tried it a couple times, but it just hasn't caught my fancy yet.
Caitlin Ruther wants to know, Kane, what's your training schedule look like? How often do you train and how long each session? I know right now you're taking a little break, a little deload, but it kind of in a normal training cycle.
Normally I'd say I'm training about 5 or 6 days a week. Usually one session. That session will be a couple hours. It'll be a long session. I'll squat twice a week.
Okay.
Those will usually be, that's all I do those days, so it's usually a pretty brutal squat session.
Gotcha. Now, are you concentrating more on front squats, back squats, or just a mix these days?
A kind of mix.
Okay.
Yeah. But on my lifting days, I do a lot of volume. Some days I'll up the intensity and do some heavier lifts, but most of my lifts will be lots of reps between 70, 90%, and then maybe one day a week I'll try to push it and have that kind of daily max out.
Gotcha. Okay, next up looks like we have Adam's second attempt, a 113 snatch. We actually have a video of Adam Baton training some snatches, pretty light snatches, but looking real snappy earlier this year. We can pull up a video of him snatching. I know we have his clean and jerks, some clean and jerks too. But he's going to add some time onto the clock, add some weight, go to 115.
Okay.
Adam's clearly capable of 115. I know he's hit it before in competition. His 110 looked pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I would venture to guess he's got 115 in the bag.
I think he's got it. Is he going up?
Yeah, I think he's going up to.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was a good move for him.
Kelsey, I'll redact her last name, wants to ask Kane if there are any family members you'd like to give a shout out to. Anonymous Kelsey.
Anonymous Kelsey. Well, funny you should mention that, Kelsey. I have a sister-in-law named Kelsey.
That's a really weird coincidence.
Yeah, I'll give her a quick shout out. Hi, Kelsey.
I'm sure they're not related at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, actually, if we could go ahead and roll a video of, actually, Adam, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for Adam to take his 115 kilogram snatch here in a bit. The bar's loaded to 115. Scoreboard still needs a little updating. But Kane and I are in agreement. He's got this one in the bag.
Yeah.
Following himself, but first one had a good pop. He caught it well. Adam, who is a native of the Baltimore area, so not too far away. He's been in the game for a while.
Yeah.
Good to me. He's rocking the old school Adastars too. He's kept those in shape.
Yeah.
Did you ever lift in those? Did you ever lift in the old Adastars?
I did not. I actually skipped those. I used to lift in really old Reebok lifting shoes when I first started.
Pre-CrossFit?
Yeah, pre-CrossFit. And I think I went from those to some Adidas lifting shoes, but they weren't the Adastars or anything. Now I'm in the Romaleos. Just started wearing those, I think, last year.
How you liking those?
They're nice. They're nice. They're really solid. I was lifting in the Ada Powers, but the Nikes just have a lot more of a base to them.
I feel like you're more attached to the ground a little bit. We actually have another video of Adam from a few years ago. This is actually from the 2013 American Open, it was Adam's PR clean and jerk of 169 kilograms. This lift that you're about to see on the screen put Adam as an alternate on the Pan American team in 2013.
Right.
So this is actually probably the biggest lift of Adam's weightlifting career you're about to see. He's not quite back up to those numbers yet, but he's definitely physically capable of them, and as you can see from this lift from 3 years ago. I love how Adam attacks the bar, especially on his cleans. No fear.
Very aggressive with it.
And here's the jerk. Now, Kane, one question I wanted to ask you. We saw in that lift of Adams from 2013, he's jerking right off his fingertips. You actually have a pretty interesting reset on your jerk, and you go pretty wide on the jerk. Is that something you've always done, or is that a more recent addition to your lifting?
That's actually, that width is about what I've always done in my jerk.
Now you're a pretty big guy, too. How tall are you?
I'm about 6'2", 6'3".
Okay. Yeah, so you have a longer wingspan, too, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I always used to, even as a younger lifter, would just have a wide grip in my jerk. I used to actually clean with that same grip. After a while, I kind of like plateaued in my lifts, and we realized it was probably time to move my grip in some. So I just eventually would clean with a more of a traditional grip, you know, just outside shoulder width, and move my grip out to that wider jerk. Just always felt comfortable to me.
Okay, Adam's going for 120, and after this lift, Kane might have to pop back and help his brother warm up.
Probably.
So this might be the last lift we have him for. But we're going to see Adam smoke this 120 real quick. And he does.
Nice.
Look at that.
Very solid.
Adam Baton makes all 3 snatches, ending at 120.
Good work.
And Kane Wilkes, thanks so much for joining us today.
No problem, Dave.
Really appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind, I'm sure Mike Graber's back there trying to give your brother some tips. If you could send him back out this way,
I will do.
We'd appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
All right. We are loading the bar for the next attempt here at the RVA Invitational. For Jacob Wyatt's first attempt, he'll open at 120 kilogram snatch. We actually have a clip of Jacob Wyatt snatching 120 kilograms in training, so we know, if we can go ahead and cue that clip up, we know he's capable of it. Actually, you know what? Jacob Wyatt has added 120. He's gone to 122 on the bar. Here's Jacob Wyatt in training doing 120. He's about to hit 122 at the RVA Invitational. His opening lift, Jacob Wyatt out of MASH Elite in North Carolina. Opening attempt. That's a good lift for Jacob Wyatt, also known as Rabbit Lifts on Instagram, as some of you guys might know and will follow him. We are well underway at one of the most exciting sessions of lifting I've ever seen live. This is the Men's Invitational at the RVA Open. This is the 5th year of the RVA Open, which is one of the better local competitions in America. And I'm going to be joined momentarily by Mike Graber in the commentator booth, in the color commentator booth. Folks, if you're liking this, if you're watching this, if you want to see these guys lift some big weight, go ahead and like, share, ask some questions for me and Mike. We have another, Jacob Wyatt is going to be following himself on the snatch. In the meantime, we actually have, I believe it's a video of a 160 kilogram rack jerk for Jacob Wyatt. So just to give you an idea of what he might be going for on the clean and jerk later tonight, you can go ahead and cue that up for Jacob. This is Jacob in training, hitting 160 kilos off the rack. I was backstage talking to him a little bit earlier, and he's going to be opening around the 150 kilo range on the clean and jerk, depending on how his snatch goes. So I think 150 kilogram clean and jerk is 160 kilogram clean and jerk is definitely in the realm of possibility for Jacob. Still pretty young lifter, 25, fairly new to the sport, only a couple years under his belt, but very promising and a lot of fun to watch. Folks, if you're liking this stream, I'll remind you to go ahead and share. The more people who share the stream, the more people are going to see it online. We're really excited to bring this stream free and live to you, courtesy of Barben. What we ask is that if you're digging it, share it, like it, ask us your questions, because more people are going to see it, more people are going to get exposed to weightlifting that way, and who knows, you share it on your wall, might get in front of someone who wouldn't see it otherwise, you might inspire someone to take up weightlifting.
So Dave, I just got back from the back room, and
What did you see back there?
let me tell you something. I definitely took one for the Barben team. Cord Wilkes, younger brother of the Dragon, you got to talk to the Dragon. He worked his way up to like 200 kilos in the snatch, and I had to load it the whole time.
I have trouble believing that.
Well,
I don't have trouble believing that you had to load the weight.
Yes, it felt like 200 kilos. Maybe it wasn't exactly 200 kilos, but he's a strong guy. I'm excited to see Cord come out later. I know we've had a few lifts. Adam Baton lifted. I think I missed all of his
3
lifts.
for 3.
Congratulations,
110,
Adam.
115, 120. Look great.
He's a seasoned veteran.
He is a seasoned veteran. We were actually looking at his 169 kilo clean and jerk.
You probably can find video on YouTube of Baton from like 10 years ago.
We don't have video going back that far, but we had some video that we showed, and he looked pretty good.
Now, this is the second attempt for Jacob, the Rabbit.
Wyatt.
Yes.
The Wabbit Wyatt.
Wabbit Wyatt.
Wabbit
yes.
Wyatt. I think that's why he's called the Rabbit, I guess. I just figured that out.
It's potentially. I'm not sure.
Jacob, who's wearing his knee sleeves around his ankles. Bold move.
So a lot of games going on. And we'll talk more about that after Jacob's attempt here.
127 kilos, about 280 pounds.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
That pushed him way down under the bar, but he got it. So Nico Ramsey's asking, is the winner based on body weight? Yes. So the winner overall for the grand cash prize is based on Sinclair total. So that is, that's based on body weight. That's a calculation based off, adjusted for body weight, basically your total. So anyone could win.
So before I go and watch the replay of the Dragons interview tomorrow on Facebook, give me some highlights of the Dragons interview with you, Dave.
I will say that actually that last lift from Jacob was turned down due to a press out from the two side judges. So turned down 2-1.
So my angle, which is your angle, I couldn't see that. But I also took my glasses off. I have sun in my eyes. It's been a long day. So unfortunately, no lift.
So Jeremy Graves is asking, is this a USAW sanctioned meet?
Of course it is.
The answer is yes.
Darn right it is.
These totals count for national qualification. We had a few folks earlier today qualify for University Nationals, which is coming up later this year in September.
Probably, yes, September.
In September.
In Baton Rouge at Louisiana State University.
Great lifting program down there.
Out west from here. Some people qualified for the American Open in Orlando, I believe, as well.
So, yeah, this is a USAW sanctioned event, and I believe it always has been. I believe the RVA Open always has been.
Yeah, it's always been sanctioned, mainly for insurance purposes in case anything were to happen. But, of course, yeah, qualifying for national events is also included.
Yeah, and it was really great to see. We actually have on camera, if you go back and watch in the archives.
I will.
We had some really great celebrations after folks hit the totals they needed to qualify. So we have Jacob Wyatt come out for his third attempt. He's going to go for that 127 again, which he was called for a press out on in his second attempt. Got it overhead, stood up with it, but didn't quite catch it. Arms locked out. So hopefully he gets this one. Let's watch. That looked a little bit better from Jacob Wyatt.
Good comeback for the Rabbit here, for Jake.
Very nice, very nice. We have some, I can actually, due to Facebook, 3 whites for Jacob. Due to Facebook Live, I can actually check on some friends who are watching live now. And I can see that we have 2 of my friends on Facebook watching. We have Mike Charetz, who actually used to train under Dennis Reno. Mike, if you're listening, give us a shout out in the comments. Great to hear from you. And also, Tom Stroka.
Oh boy, Tom Stroka, you don't say.
Tom Stroka, American Open champion.
A few years ago, yeah.
A few years ago, is watching live.
Big
Tom,
man out of Chicago.
If you're watching, go ahead and give us a little shout out in the comments. It's great to see you're watching, and I hope you're enjoying the lifting you're seeing today. You know some of these guys. You trained with some of these guys.
I first met Tom Stroka maybe 5 years ago out in California was visiting San Ramon. He had just moved to Glenn Pendley's house. And he just started training with Glenn Pendley. Then he moved to South Carolina, and then now he's back in Chicago where he grew up. And he owns a CrossFit there, and he's training and coaching, and he's a big guy, still a big guy.
Still a big guy. He's lost a little weight recently and is training for Grid, actually.
I
the
did not
National
know
Pro
that.
Grid
Good
League.
for
He was
him.
drafted by the New York Rhinos recently,
Congratulations.
which is really cool to see.
That's one of my favorite Grid League teams.
So next up we have Frankie Marie, who didn't quite make the 85 kilo body weight, so lifting is a very light 94.
Frank I've known for 32 years. He's a multiple-time national medalist and almost, or possibly more importantly, multiple-time Empire State Game champion. Right.
That's a good lift for Frankie Marie. Nice.
Solid
Frank.
opener.
You know, we actually have a really cool clip of Frank from a few years ago where he's got longer hair and cleans 400 pounds for the first time. And what I love about this clip is that, you know, you see Frank right now, he's a clean-cut guy. Used to be a bit of a very professional. Used to be a bit of a wild child. Check out his hair in this. This is his first ever 400-pound clean from around like 2010. And check out that hairdo. I thought Kane the Dragon Wilkes had great hair.
He does, but this is great also. This is great on a different level.
He's got nothing on young Frankie Marie.
Let me tell you something. Young Frankie Marie was taking that hair to the next level.
I mean, look at this. He's a little long setup, getting that back tight.
He's milking that clock 10 years ago. He's milking the clock today.
Look at that. His first ever 400 pounds. I love the reaction after he makes this. I watched this video last night. All heart right there. I've never cleaned 400 pounds, so I don't know what it feels like.
Me neither. Frank is head coach of, Next Level Weightlifting in the tri-state area.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in the New York City area and interested in weightlifting, he informed me in the back room he is at CrossFit South Brooklyn and Garden City CrossFit.
Yeah,
that's where you can find him coaching weightlifting, doing some training at LBH. He's really all over the place. He lives in Long Island.
Tom Sroka says, just to interrupt,
please.
Tom, I have an interview with Tom I need to publish on Barbend.
Oh, boy.
Tom says, what's up, guys? Tom, what's up with you, man? Where are you watching from? Where are you right now?
Are you in Chicago?
Are you at Big Shoulders CrossFit right now? Are you at home? We want to hear what you're up to, Tom.
Are you somewhere else? A third
Are you somewhere else?
possibility?
You know. So I'd probably be, on a Saturday night, if I weren't here, I'd probably be at the Olive Garden.
Oh, my goodness.
But, you know. Tom's in Chicago watching. All right. You're the first person from Chicago confirmed on the live stream. Thanks for watching, Tom.
So I want to interrupt you. We got DJ Shuttleworth, opening attempt 140. He's up. So he is from Eastern Pennsylvania, relatively close to where we live. He's from Garage Strength. I was told in the back he's coached by Mike McKenna.
I did not know that.
That's what he told me to say. Let's see if anyone gets a reaction out of anyone on the Facebook, but I was told he's been very influenced by Mike McKenna.
He's opening at 140 kilo snatch.
He took fourth at Nationals. It's 94, 2 years ago, I believe.
Now that looked real good.
Good opener. Get on the board.
Now, folks, I just want to point out this makes me shed a tear of happiness. Tom Sroka is editing a Barbend article right now while watching the Barbend live stream.
I have edited
of the RVA Open.
I have edited some Barbend articles while doing other things as well, multitasking. Yes.
Brandon Miller asks if there's any relation to Jesus Shuttleworth between DJ Shuttleworth and from He Got Game. He's talking about Ray Allen's character in He Got Game.
I assume the answer is yes.
I'm going to go ahead and say yeah. I'm just going to assume it. I'm going to assume yes without any other evidence.
And actually, I'm kidding. He is coached by international USAW coach Dane Miller.
So next up, we have a lifter
Grad Strength.
a lot of you might not have seen before. This is Colin Worm. He's out of Mashalee.
He was a late addition to the session.
He was added 2 days ago.
Yes.
Opening at 140 kilos. Oh, a little too much pull on that. So Colin's really new. He's pretty new to weightlifting. He's
How old
20.
is he?
He's 23.
Okay.
He started off as a CrossFitter.
All right.
And he's only been
He's a big
dedicated
guy.
weightlifter. He's a big guy.
He's a big guy.
He looks bigger than he looks as an 85 normally. He
Really?
looks bigger.
He does
He
look
weighed
bigger.
in at
Like,
89 kilos
I
right
saw
now.
these guys come out. I said to myself, is this the Royal Rumble? is this the Royal Rumble? These guys are big.
Now,
Like
folks,
Tatum in person is big.
he is big. It's a beard. If you guys
I
are
mean-
watching and you're liking this stream, go ahead and give it a share. The more people who share this stream,
The better.
The more people who are going to see it, and the more exposure weightlifting is going to get, not just nationally but internationally. And that's what we're doing this for. We're trying to get make weightlifting more accessible than ever, make it more fun to watch than ever. We have Tom Stroka watching from Chicago and commenting. We have a friend of mine watching from New York, Colin Orcutt. Shout out to Colin Orcutt of Brooklyn. Colin, if you're watching and you want to chime in on the comments, would love to hear from you. Colin's a former collegiate basketball player, so he's probably wondering how high these guys can jump since they can squat so much.
So quick question for you. I saw about an hour ago, Barben posted that they would be doing an interview with one elite level heavyweight or another. The answer was Kane Wilkes.
The answer was Kane Wilkes.
The Dragon
Wilkes.
Wilkes.
It was
the
Kane
Dragon.
Wilkes, and Kane helped intro this session today. And
Did he talk about art at all?
We didn't talk about art.
He is a.
We talked about weightlifting. We talked
Okay.
about sibling rivalry.
Okay.
Talked about you a little bit.
Oh, no,
that
I'm
was
so
the less
sorry.
interesting part
So
of the
sorry.
conversation. And Brandon Miller says, shout out to the announcers that have been on top of their game since early this morning. Brandon, shout out to you for tuning in.
I see my good friend Mike Service is watching. Hello, Mr. Service.
Colin Worm, second attempt, 140 kilograms. He smoked
Much
that.
better.
He almost power snatched that, folks. This guy, okay, so Colin Worm is new to weightlifting, is a dedicated weightlifter. Jackie Bigger told us on the live stream earlier in the comments that he's hitting about 150, 180 in training as an 85/ sometimes 94 kilo lifter. So
I believe everything Jackie Bigger tells me.
Jackie Bigger is quite a good lifter herself and has made some big lifts recently.
I agree with you. I've seen them on the Instagram.
So Frank Murray, he's professional now. This is not the long-haired
I think
Frankie.
he still likes Frankie, but
He is up for his second attempt. He's going for 140 for his second attempt. Frank Murray. He opened at 136, 5 kilo jump.
nice.
Good save. You know, Frankie is a weightlifting coach, sometimes CrossFit coach. He's pretty multi-talented. We actually have a video that we're going to queue up of Frankie doing some strict muscle-ups, which is a fairly advanced gymnastics movement. Takes a lot of upper body strength and not something you see weightlifters train very often. So Frankie is pretty multi-talented, has a good level of all-around. Look at that!
Wow.
Look at that easy strict muscle up.
It's a strict muscle up.
You know how many weightlifters who can do that?
Probably two. Probably him and Chad Vaughn.
That's about it.
That's it.
That's probably about it. That's a great looking movement. Frankie's got great mobility, great speed, obviously a lot of strength. He's been around for a while.
Yes. He
Still
got a
lifting
bronze
heavy.
medal in the clean and jerk at Nationals, I believe, this past year. So 2 months ago.
Yeah. We're expecting good things from him in the clean and jerk. I have some other clips of him hitting some heavy clean and
He
jerks
is a
later.
big clean and jerker.
He is. Well, that's the king of lifts.
Yes.
The snatch is for show.
Snatch for show, you clean and jerk for dough.
Clean and jerk.
Guess what? Tonight we're going for dough.
Okay, this is the first appearance of James Tatum.
Speaking of guys who like money, James Tatum would like some money tonight.
James is going to open at 145 kilograms.
I love this.
The scoreboard is incorrect.
He stalks the
Our
bar.
graphic's probably correct. 145 kilograms
I put my money on our graphic
for
guys.
James Tatum
Nurdinov made the graphics.
as an opener.
He stalks the bar. I love it. I love watching him lift.
James Tatum, 145 kilograms, opening lift. Oh, like butter. We have James Tatum has snatched 160 kilos before, and we have a video of James Tatum snatching 160 kilos in training from a few years ago. James weighs a little over 85 kilos now, but a few years ago he snatched 160 kilos at just 80 kilos body weight. We're about to show that lift right on the feed here. This is from the old Muscle Driver USA.
I could have sworn he did it more recently. I believe he did it here in this video, but I could have sworn he did it more recently, leading up into the Nationals.
He might have, but this lift
at that Philadelphia Olympic trials session, he did 56 or I think 56, and he had 60 above head, and he pressed it out.
Well,
that's a heck of a press out. 160 kilos.
You should get an award for being able to press that out.
Yes.
Up next, we have DJ Shuttleworth. Don't know if there's any relation to Jesus Shuttleworth, but Colin Orcutt on the stream, he appreciates the Jesus Shuttleworth shout out.
I assume the answer is yes.
145 kilos.
I have no proof.
Not quite enough on that, not quite fast enough under it. He looks strong, though. He looked very strong in his first attempt. I'm excited to see if he adds weight to add a little more time, or if he comes out and takes the 145 again.
Still to open up, Cord Wilkes.
Cord Wilkes has yet. You must have, when you were back there helping him warm up, you must have told him some really inspiring things.
Let me tell you something. If I did, I don't remember.
Because we're going to go ahead and cue up a video. Not going to play it just yet, but of Cord Wilkes snatching 148 kilos 5 years ago at the North Carolina State Championship. Cord's been around for a while.
Yeah, he's 57 years old.
He's
not 57 years old. I made that up.
But Frankie Marie, last clean and jerk, or last snatch attempt for the day.
145.
145.
This is up there with some of his best snatching.
Quite
not today, quite in front. You had that bar in front.
So Cord Wilkes, who has yet to come on, we have a video of him snatching 148 kilos at the North Carolina State Championships in 2011. So I don't know if he's going to open at around 148, but still no sign of Cord Wilkes. Okay, Cord Wilkes' first attempt at 147 kilograms. Okay, I guess we don't have that video right now, but we're just going to have to watch it live. We're going to have to watch Cord Wilkes snatch 147 kilos live. Opening attempt here at the RVA Invitational.
This is a good opener for him.
Cord's brother, of course, super heavyweight lifter Kane Wilkes. Very accomplished weightlifting family.
Bunch of champion weightlifters in that family.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
If you can stabilize it, doing a little helicopter.
Stop moving, stop moving.
One of the best saves we've seen all day. Congrats to Cord Wilkes. Actually, we did find that video of Cord from 2011, snatching 148 kilograms at the North Carolina State Championships. So we know Cord's good for at least a kilo more. Or he was 5 years ago. It's a young Cord Wilkes.
That is a young Cord Wilkes.
He's still pretty young. He's 27.
He's still young, yeah, but 5 years ago he was younger.
Fair enough. We all were. Some of us more than others.
Some of us more than others.
Folks, if you're liking this stream, give it a like. Ask us some questions. Shout out your favorite lifters. We want to hear from you. Where are you watching from?
Where are you watching from?
Also, share the stream.
Are you watching from home? It's Saturday night. Have you gone out and you're watching out from the clubs or the discotheque, possibly?
You're in the bathroom of the discotheque or your local bar watching weightlifting because you love it that much?
You're at the Olive Garden, maybe even? Who's to say?
That's where I'd be.
That's where Dave would be.
But
never-ending pasta. Anyways, here we go.
Colin Worm, third attempt, 147 kilos. No lift, but Colin Worm is strong as an ox. He pulled that weight fast. We're going to see more of that kid.
We're going to see more of
We're
him.
gonna
You
see
can
more
tell
of that
he's
kid.
very young in the sport. You can tell that. And as he develops, we're going to see big things.
We're going to see him again at other national meets.
Large events, big, significant events.
So Devin is asking where we're at, where this event is at. We're at RVA CrossFit in Richmond, Virginia.
Downtown Richmond.
At the RVA Open and Invitational. And actually, there's more lifting tomorrow.
Yes.
We have more sessions of lifting tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. And we'll be here.
We'll be here. Can't wait.
I can wait. I can maybe get a little more sleep, but
Yeah.
we'll be here.
Okay.
Folks, if you like the stream, ask us some questions. Shout out your favorite lifters. They're going to go back and watch this after and see all these comments and love all the people cheering for them. And also, share the stream. Easy to do on Facebook. Please share the stream. All you got to do is click share it to your wall, and that way your friends, your family.
This is the most people live watching I think I've noticed all weekend. Over 150 people currently at this point in time.
The number's actually higher than that.
Oh.
What we're seeing is, I have some sneaky ways to see the back
All
end.
right.
But a
All
lot of
right.
people watching.
As I've said many times, I have no idea what you do in the back end.
I'm a sneaky guy.
You are sneaky.
I'm like the Batman of weightlifting content, maybe.
I would agree with that. I noticed Mike Service is making some comments. It's great to see Mike Service can make comments, but Mike Service can never call me back when he's in New York City.
So Sergio Cisneros, I might be butchering your last name, is watching from Fredericksburg, Texas. Shout out to Fredericksburg. Okay, James Tatum, attempt number 2. He's going after that 150 kilo snatch. 150 kilos on the bar for James Tatum. We know he's capable of this. Look at that. That's even better than his first attempt. That's some good lifting from James. James Tatum is a lifter to beat today.
I called it earlier on the day. He's my favorite to win it. But
we got people watching in from Chicago now, Chesapeake, Virginia,
Texas,
Austin, Texas,
Fredericksburg,
Chicago,
Texas, all over Texas.
Updates. New York. Yes, there's more to New York than just New York City. There is more to New York.
Let me tell you
than just
something.
New York City.
I grew up in upstate New York. So, John, I'm from Buffalo. Where are you from?
Yeah, John, if John Bartholomew can let us know where he's from. Mike's from upstate New York.
Yeah, I grew up in Buffalo, New York. I could
Basically
throw a rock.
Canada.
I could throw a rock and hit Canada. I was about to say that.
Why would you throw a rock at Canada?
No, I'm not saying I would. I like Canada. Love Canada.
We got folks from Tallahassee, Florida, Concord, New Hampshire, Utica,
New
Abilene,
York.
Texas, Beloit, Wisconsin. That's the first Wisconsin.
Wait,
of the
that's
day.
the home of Dr. Dave a former home of Dr. Dave Boffa. I'm very familiar with CrossFit Beloit. My friend Scott owns CrossFit Beloit.
Pensacola, Florida. I'm being corrected. Buffalo is not upstate. You're right, Brian Holland. Sorry about that.
It's
Good
not
lifting today
upstate.
earlier,
It's
Brian.
downstate Canada. They call it down country Canada.
Here's DJ Shuttlesworth. Comes back to make 150 kilos.
Nice. He's in it to win it.
Well, the judges, he's got one red light.
One white lights, one black lights. The
Good
ball
lift.
play.
DJ Shuttleworth. Someone watching in from Fort Lauderdale. Tyler is asking, is this senior level? Yes, these are senior lifters. Someone's watching from Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
That near your
That's
home?
very near where I grew up. I grew up in Bardstown, Kentucky. That's very near where I am. Brian, shout out from Central Kentucky. Great to hear it. Someone's watching from Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right, home of North Carolina State University.
Houston, Texas. And Yvonne is still watching from Ireland. Great lifting. Psyched to get to the gym Monday. Great streaming. Thank you, which I assume is just thank you in Irish.
Jeez, it's after midnight in Ireland.
I mean, but I'm assuming, Yvonne, you're watching in a pub because I assume Ireland is a fun time and everyone's having a good time on a Saturday night. I hope so. I'm
Me
having a
too.
good time.
And it is Saturday night.
It is we've been here since
Saturday
5:30
morning.
a.m.
It's a Saturday morning.
Cord Wilkes, second attempt, 150 kilograms.
Nice. That was better than the 47. Stand up.
He's got to
Stand
stand
up.
up. He's got nice. No helicopter this time. That is a solid lift, no question about that. Kevin Cornell out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is currently smoking a cigar and watching some big lifts, living the dream. Honestly, that sounds about right.
Good for you, Kevin. Good for you.
Abilene, Texas wants a shout out. Abilene, Texas gets a shout out. Bentonville, Arkansas. Randy from Bentonville. Randy, shout out to Bentonville. That was 151 kilograms for Cord Wilkes. Originally said 150 on the scoreboard, 151. He's got one more attempt left. James Tatum still has another attempt.
Yeah. Probably, I would guess 55.
Michael Rudolph says, great commentary. You had me entertained all day. I saw a squat jerk for the first time in competition earlier. Could you talk about some of the benefits and drawbacks to doing this lift? Mike, you want to take this one?
Well, the benefits are that it's much more efficient. You have to go just up and down. It's much more efficient, less distance to travel for the bar. You use your legs. Your legs are the strongest muscle in your body.
That's the key. It's much less to travel for the bar, more to travel for the body. But the bar is harder to lift than the body.
This is true. Con, it's much more difficult to execute because there's a lot more technique. It's much more unnatural. You have to learn it. Something you got to learn. And if you can do it and you have the flexibility to do it, it's great. But the majority of people don't.
It's tough to execute. It also takes a lot of courage to dive under a heavy barbell like that.
I've seen Kendrick Ferris do it. I've seen Apli Aplikov do it. I've seen Amber Davis do it. I've seen Peter Musa do it. I haven't seen that many other people do it.
Tian Tao?
Okay, yes, you're countryman.
Well, I'm from Kentucky, so
yes, sorry, I'm your
close enough.
countryman.
Are there cash prizes here? Yes, the top lifter based on Sinclair gets $2,000 American dollars. So these folks are fighting for some cash. This is one of the biggest cash purses of any competition in weightlifting in America right now.
It is.
That's really no exaggeration. We got someone who went to high school with Kane Wilkes and is really impressed with the whole family. I'm impressed by the whole family, too.
I also am impressed. The whole family is here. Mom is here in the audience. Dad's coaching. Obviously, the brother, the Dragon, is helping out in the back.
He was, you know what? We've had some great guests today on the commentary. I mean, there's myself and Mike Graber, but we've also had Don McCauley.
Yes.
A very experienced and storied coach in American weightlifting and abroad.
He had things to say. We asked him questions. He had answers.
And then we had Kane Wilkes, who is the only 500-pound clean and jerker in North America.
Yes.
Also, someone asked on the comments, are these weights in pounds or kilos? These are kilogram plates from Vulcan Strength Training Systems and a kilogram bar. Olympic lifting competitions are pretty much always done in kilos. That's the standard. It's what they use around the globe, and it's what we're using here today in Richmond, Virginia.
So we are going to 155 at least. Big yellow plates are going on top of two big reds.
Yeah, Cord Wilkes getting loaded up for 155 kilograms.
These are big weights. These are national level.
Weights.
These are national level weights. You'd see weights like this at the national championships or an international competition.
Cord standing over that chalk bucket, composing himself. His father excited for him in the background. His brother, Kane Wilkes, right off to the side, off the platform, cheering him on. 155 kilograms for Cord Wilkes. Here we go, Cord. Oh, no lift for Cord Wilkes.
Not today.
A little heavy for him. A little heavy for him today. But he ended with 151, which is pretty good. Pretty good for him. But we still have a lifter left. Mr. James Tatum. Perhaps the favorite lifter coming into this based on Sinclair.
I mean, I have to think he makes this. I have to think if he makes this.
We know he's capable.
It's just an uphill battle for everyone. It's just going to be that much harder for anyone else to take that money out of his hands. He makes this. He's had a stranglehold on that money.
Yeah, he makes one clean and jerk. If he makes a snatch, he really only needs one clean and jerk to go home with the cash.
But let's see what happens. That's why you lift the weights.
You gotta lift.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, not quite enough for James Tatum. James has still got a great shot at taking home the grand prize of $2,000. He's finished with 150 kilograms in the snatch. He's got to make some clean and jerks now. He's got to make some clean and jerks. That's the only thing.
This is going to be some strategy, and coaching is definitely going to come into play at the end of this.
So
obviously, we have the Sinclair coefficient calculator. We'll be keeping you up to date on all the action when we get back from the clean and jerks.
So folks, that was the last snatch of this session. Don't go anywhere. In 10 minutes, we are coming, less than 10 minutes, we're going to come back. We're going to come onto a different stream. So just come right back to where you're watching the Facebook page, Barbin Facebook page. We're going to come back on. We're going to see these guys throw a heavier weight overhead in the clean and jerk section of the RVA Invitational, the men's part. Until then, I'm David Tao.
I'm Mike Raber.
See you guys in about 10 minutes.